Here are 4 advanced Washington state estate tax strategies. Before I get into that, let me introduce myself. I am Christopher Small. I'm the owner of CMS Law Firm. We do estate planning, we do probate, we do it well. Here to help you with any of those problems and questions and needs that you have, okay? If you do need help, cmslawfirm.com is the place to go. Okay, 4 advanced Washington state estate tax strategies. If you are married, the first sort of basic fundamental estate tax strategy that you probably are going to want to employ is going to be a credit shelter trust. If you just Google CMS Law Firm and Credit Shelter Trust, I made videos on it. There's stuff out there. Go check that out. Once you do that, if you have additional estate tax exposure, this will be over $6 million in assets, then there are some of these other things that you're going to want to do. If you are single and you're over $3 million in assets, you can also use these ideas that I'm about to talk about. Okay, so number 1, the first advanced Washington state estate tax strategy is gifting. There are no gifting limits in Washington state. You do not have to file a gift tax return. You do not have to pay gift taxes in Washington state. So you can give as much as you want all the way up until you die. There's not going to be any tax imposed on those gifts. Now, there is a little bit of a downside to employing this strategy, and that is those gifts are not going to receive a step up in basis. So when the people that receive the gifts liquidate those assets in the future, they are going to do so and pay tax on any appreciation from when you purchased it. Okay, so if you bought a stock for $1 and now it's worth $100, if you sold it, you would pay tax on that $99 of gain. If you give it to someone and then they sell it, they are going to pay tax on that $99 of gain. If you give it to them after you die, they will not pay tax on that gain. They will receive that stock with a basis of $100 and only pay tax on the growth after they receive it. Okay, so could be significant depending on what your assets are. But that is one strategy that I would consider doing. You can also gift just right now, okay, not have to worry about anything. Number 2, advanced Washington state estate tax strategy is going to be the creation of something called an ILIT. Okay, an ILIT is a irrevocable trust. The acronym is Irrevocable Life Insurance Trust, ILIT, ILIT for short. Many people have life insurance policies, term or whole life, that have big payouts. Those payouts, believe it or not, count as part of your estate for estate tax purposes. One of the strategies that you can do is create this ILIT. You will put your life insurance policy into this trust. When you die, because it's an irrevocable trust, it's not going to be counted as part of your estate, and then it will not face any tax liabilities. This is helpful to just reduce your taxable estate if you already have life insurance. It can also help to provide cheap liquidity if you're going to have a big tax event when you die. For example, you can buy $1 million life insurance policy, assuming you qualify, pay $100 a month on that policy, and when you die, the whole $1 million is going to pay into the ILIT, and then that ILIT can use that money to fund your tax needs personally. You've only paid the premiums, but you get the whole payout. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, that is number 2. Number 3, Washington state estate tax strategy is going to be moving. Okay, Washington state estate taxes only apply to Washington assets. So if you move, all of your liquid assets, bank accounts, investment accounts, retirement accounts, and any LLC interests that you have are going to not be considered Washington assets any longer. They will not be subject to the Washington state estate tax. If you own real estate here and you move, that could potentially pull in some assets subject to being taxed. There is a workaround to that, which maybe I will do actually in the next video, my next long video. I will explain how to get around that, but it is workable. Okay, but if you move, your estate tax liability is going to go down significantly. That's number 3. Last but not least, number 4. This one's only going to really apply to the married couples that have created a credit shelter trust. But after the first spouse dies, there's going to be a irrevocable trust created called the decedent's trust. You park the deceased spouse's estate tax exemption in that trust. Once that's done, though, that trust still exists for the surviving spouse to use, to manage, and to handle. They can, if they want, continue to gift into that decedent's trust. It's the same rule as gifting while alive, though. Whatever you gift in there, it's probably not going to get a step up in basis. You need to be aware of that. talk to an estate planning attorney to make sure you do it right. But anything you gift into that trust is then going to not face Washington state estate tax liability when the surviving spouse dies. The beauty of that is the surviving spouse typically has control of the assets in that irrevocable trust and can run the trust. So it's a win-win. All right. So there you go. 4. Washington state estate tax advanced strategies. Hopefully this helped. If it did, that's great. If you have questions, leave a comment. If you want more of this stuff, subscribe or like or whatever you're at. And as a reminder, I'm Christopher Small. I'm the owner of CMS Law Firm. We do estate planning, we do probate, we do it well. If you need help, cmslawfirm.com is the place to go. All right. That is it. See ya.